Dear, dear, dear Sagittarius, as I started preparing this for you, what I saw was a figure, which I believe is you, standing at the top of, I almost want to say a pulpit, except it's not a church, but it is a holy place. And in fact, what you're doing is your hands are out like this, leaning out, reaching out to receive blessings, divine guidance, healing. And I'm hearing the words holy, holy, holy. And almost like it could be the start of a prayer, of a hymn, except this is not about religion. This is about spirituality beyond religion. This is about you tuning into something that is sacred and holy and permeates all religions, all faiths, the world, all people. It is that quality of connection that I'm talking about here. And as I'm doing that, I'm realizing that it's probably because you are, some of you, for the part of the collective that I'm reading for, and it is the week of May 19th or when it resonates. But for those of you for whom this resonates, what I'm feeling is that there is something that you are managing right now that is going to or is challenging your ability to stay in a state of deliberately seeking, requesting, embodying higher guidance. And there are a couple of cards that come up that make me think whatever this situation is giving you the opportunity to heal many things from the past. But it feels as though I'm getting attack, I'm getting betrayal, I'm getting grief. I feel there is something ongoing now in your life that is challenging you to be kind, to forgive, to really, really work with your adult self as opposed to your child self. And that's the only way I can put it, because that's going to manifest differently for different people. But I feel as though the opportunity that you're going to have here in the process of working with this is you're going to have the opportunity to be kind in the present. You're going to have the opportunity to forgive, whether in the present or in the past, but often they will go together. And that whether or not you are feeling attacked or have been that's it, that's part of it, is that there have been times when you have been attacked, when you have felt as though you were not treated properly or well, or too much was expected of you. And when it was not offered and done in the right way, that there was some kind of personal, we'll say personal. I'm going to stick with personal on this one. That there might been some kind of personal attack on your character. And now what I feel is though you've got the can't and won't. Can't is the language of a child, won't is the language of an adult. You've got past, present, future, which says to me there is something definitely from the past here, and that there is an aspect of grief that goes along with much of this. And I'm not sure where it lies, whether the grief is in the past and you're experiencing it currently. Yep, that's it. Okay, so there is a current potential grief that you are in or anticipating, and it's allowing you to go back to old grief and clear old grief, and that's very much what it feels like here. There was an image and a thought that came to me as I was shuffling the cards after I got the impression of holy, holy, holy. And what was it? It was that sometimes it is the anticipation of loss that creates pain. And the anticipation of grief that actually opens our hearts more to be more loving. okay, now this makes perfect sense, because within, of course, within the Ayurvedic, or no, I should say within the polarity therapy model, which is my key modality, the idea of grief is the idea that it is the original wound, the original loss. It is the loss of separation from source, from God, from our divine self, which of course is an illusion because we're never separate from it. But that the belief of it is our first grief, which is why grief on the emotional realm, in the human realm, is so incredibly powerful, because it resonates with that, so we can go back and break the illusion that we are not one with God, that we can break the illusion that we've ever been separated from that infinite love. So Sagittarius, I don't know what the individual things are that you're going through. Of course, I can't know because this is for a collective. But for those of you for whom this resonates, what I would say is, in this moment, really choose kindness and forgiveness, because whatever is going on and whatever has gone on that you may be looking at from the past, you don't necessarily know if you really had 100% clear vision and image and understanding about what was going on or what's going on. That there is more going on than just you and more than just your thoughts, okay? And that what you're being asked to do is really choose kindness. Do your best to stay away from having to be right, having to figure things out. Choose kind. Choose kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. This is it. And holy, holy, holy. So I'm getting 3s. Be kind to yourself in whatever you're negotiating here. That's number 1. Be really, really kind. Be tender with yourself and with anybody else that you're dealing with and that you're thinking about. And remember that there are things going on that you don't know. You don't know about it. And whether that's in a factual way or whether or not it's in anybody else's spiritual evolution process that you're not really familiar with, because we never really are. Choose kindness. Use this opportunity to clear whatever you need to clear. Use this opportunity to clear. And notice your choices. When you find yourself going down a rabbit hole and not being positive, that's too pat a statement. Whenever you find yourself in situations where you could potentially be kind and you're not, check in with that and see why you're choosing that, because that can be part of the path backward to understanding where some of this came from. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to leave you with that. I know this feels like a heavy reading, and it feels like for some of you there's a lot going on that is really challenging for you right now. But what I would say is, please, 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 above all else, be kind to yourselves. Okay? Be kind to yourselves and allow yourself to really notice when any of these emotions come up. Where are they taking you into the past? What does it resonate with? What are you being given the opportunity to move through, to let go of, to grow? Okay? There you go, my dears. Take care.